Welcome back to the Angry Buddha Official. As I approach and then walk away, apologize for that. Gotta get the fan going, or get the fan off. It's a little toasty in here. I think I've said this before, but every room, any house we've ever been to, me and my wife, and rightfully so. It's Texas, it's hot. My kids get the cooler rooms. Not intended, because my kids probably don't care. Me and my wife always try to get the cooler one, we always pick the hot one. Or it always seems the master bedroom is always fucking hotter than any of the goddamn rooms. Whole house is cold, except for my room. And I like the cold the most, so. Anyway, we got Fubar toasted snuff. This is an Indian snuff. This is made by 6Photo, made for Mr.Snuff. And so Mr. Snuff's snuff is Fubar. Brought this up, someone, not on YouTube, but in Discord, and someone mentioned, which is funny because they were correct. They said, it's funny, it's more like roasted than toasted. This is different. This is not toasted in the traditional sense of an English snuff. Maybe it's based off them, but it's still not. It's not what I think of when I think of a toast, and it's not what I want to have as a toast. However, this is still a good snuff. Medium brown, fine grind, maybe not as fine as an HDT or an Indian white, or maybe Irish 22. Not quite as fine, but still pretty damn fine. And I say that because it even feels a little thicker than normally. It is fine. It's fresh, still a little moist, but it's just not as fine as that stuff. That stuff feels more silky. The Indian whites feel silky. This feels like there's more consistency. And maybe even for Indian, that's weird. Usually Indians have quite a bit of moisture. Maybe even lack. Maybe when I first opened it was, but maybe even lacks a little bit less moisture. Or, yeah, it lacks moisture. It lacks less moisture than the English toast that I'm used to. Except for SWS Lundyfoot. Lundyfoot is dry as can be. Most of their snuffs are dry, which is fine for like toasts and naturals and stuff. Anyways, in the tin or tube, it's plastic, so it's not tin. We have a nutty smell, just a natural tobacco. You get that Indian smell, which I found out from most Indian snuffs. I found out what that is. I've explained this so many times redoing this video, but it's important. I always talk about that smell of a bodega, like an old corner store or a foreign bodega, like, in the States, though. You go around the corner, there's a foreign small corner store. It's maybe owned by an Asian owner. And this is not a bad smell that I smell. This is a smell I actually like. And growing up in Houston as a kid, I was very aware of other cultures and, plenty of different culture around. So, even though I live out in the country here, my family is Southern, and, I grew up in a bigger city when I was young. So, and we'll get into my history as a child, and I'll explain a little bit more that, I don't know, I kind of was put in a place in my life to where I would be a little bit more cultured than the average Southern white boy, at least that comes from family that is super Southern. You'd be surprised. We'll get into that later. It's very interesting. Well, it may be interesting to the next person or for another Southerner to hear my story, because it's not what you think. I'm sure no one's is, but you get what I'm saying. It's off. It'll throw you off. You'd be surprised. But that might be why I'm also open to a little bit more culture, or a little bit more liberal as a pretty hardcore Southerner. I'm definitely all about Southern shit. I'm just more liberal than my other Southern brothers. That does not mean I am a liberal nor a Democrat, or I'm not going to say if I'm a Republican. I'm not going to tell you what my party is, because it doesn't matter. We don't really talk politics here. Fuck that shit. Let's just all get along. The only politics we're talking here is the Buddha politics, and that means everybody gets along. Anyways, back to what I'm getting at. The smell, 4 minutes in, almost 5 minutes, the smell is nutty and a natural tobacco scent. When you put it in your nose, it's going to be a little bit more plain, and you still get a little bit of that nuttiness, and like I said, that Indian smell. We got off topic and lost track. That Indian smell is slaked lime. They use slaked lime it's one of the alkalizing processes in making snuff. It's not hard. I just mean like it's not like a big step or anything. You have, your salt, your table salt, your sodium carbonate or potassium carbonate, and then you have, and I'm all just learning this stuff recently. I'm not saying this like I know it. I'm saying it because I know it now. But since slaked lime is also used, it's a little bit easier, or I don't know. I know it's quite common, at least in all the Indian stuff. That's where you smell that Indian smell. It's slaked lime. It gives off that scent, and that's what I smell as an Indian snuff. So, which doesn't really make it an Indian snuff, or that smell doesn't make it Indian or a bodega like I used to say. So I'm going to stop saying that. It's slaked lime, and it gives off that tone afterwards. So, and knowing that that's more common than just some foreign smell that I don't know and more aware of, that makes it easier. I still think that I either had an issue with MG Madras or it was a bad tin. So I might even go back and change that thumbnail. I know it's hilarious because that's what I smelled, and I wanted to talk shit, I guess, a little bit, but I've been corrected. So I'll probably take that thumbnail off and give the respect to MG Madras it deserves, and maybe eventually I'll get a smaller tin and we'll see if I can mess with it again. I might just not like MG Madras, and that just might be what it be. But it seems that I like every other Madras, and I'm not saying this is a Madras. It's supposed to be a toast, but I wouldn't call this a toast. But it does have that Madras smell. Maybe that's ghee mixed in with the slaked lime. I don't know, but it's good. I always want to bring up ghee. I don't know why, but ghee just sounds like it would maybe have a little funk to it for my American palate. This is a great snuff, though. We haven't even taken a pinch. Let's take a little quick pinch. We're going to do this a fast review. This is not on my list. This snuff right here was not on my list to review with the other snuffs. I did want to try Fubar Toast, but it was never on my list and future list. This was sent to me with my buddy Robert that sent Rob. We'll call him Rob. That might not be his actual name, but we're going to call him Rob. Because I don't think his YouTube name, it says Rob on it. So it's a different name. And if he's watching, he knows that I'm talking about. But we're still not going to call you out. I'm still not going to tell anybody. They can figure it out in the comments when you've talked if they want to. But still good stuff. Anyways, he sent me a fresh tin of this. So that's why I have this and why I'm reviewing it. He wanted me to try it and see if I liked it. He didn't care for it. He likes Grunt better. I think I like this better. I've tried Grunt, and I didn't like it. I'll have to try it again in the future. But that wasn't on the list. This really isn't in our list of reviewing snuffs. So this is just a fun snuff, and plus I told you I would do it, and I complained about it a lot yesterday, so we're doing it. Anyway, we got the snuff here. Gonna take a pinch after 8 minutes in. Musty. Remember that bodega smell? No longer bodega. Slaked lime smell. That doesn't mean it gives it a lime scent. It's not what slaked lime is. I mean, it could be, I guess, but there's no lime in here. Anyway. Nutty, tobacco-y, plain. Maybe there's some type of, like I said, roasted snuff would be more appropriate for this. But still a good snuff. Let's say, since it's labeled as toast, Mr. Snuff, I like this snuff, but since it's labeled as toast, let's make it a little bit more bready, a little bit more buttery. If not that, then maybe let's change the name to like roasted nuts or something. This is a great product, but since it says toast, to me that is kind of, it's not what it says it is, to me, in my opinion. So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. As far as snuff liking it, if it had a different name, it would get a 10 out of 10 for me, just for what it is. But for that name throwing us off, because what we know, and it should say in description, which it doesn't, but that could be changed, and I'm sure, we'd send them an email and tell them, hey, let's change this description or something, and let's get this name changed or something, or at least put on there that, it has a roasted nutty taste, not a toasted, because that just kind of tricks people, and not on purpose, this is still great. Like I said, if it didn't have the name toasted in it and it was changed to roasted, I'd probably give it a 10 out of 10. But this is getting an 8 out of 10. Nicotine is not bad for a toast, once again. I mean, if you cram enough up in here, you'll get a good nicotine. You get some good nicotine. I want to go to a medium high, a high medium on the nick, or maybe just medium. That's pretty much it. I've already covered the grind, color. I hope you all enjoyed this review. If you enjoyed this review, please give me a like. Please subscribe if you haven't. Please share this video and get that out there. That like means so much to me, and it's helping me get more people and for people seeing my channel first on YouTube. I don't care. I'm not trying to win. It's not a competition, but I'd like to bring more people in. Thank you for all your new subscribers. Thank y'all. We're at 343 right now, the last time I checked, and I love it we could get to 400. If we could get to 400 and then 500, that would be even better. That's the real goal here, is at least get to the milestone of 500. And even then, I'm still not really a milestone. It's 1,000 that we're really trying to get to, at the very least, on this channel. I don't want the rest then. I just wanted to do that because I said I would. I was going to do the review. But hit that notification bell so you can not miss my videos. If you like keeping up to date with them. Anyways, love y'all. Hope y'all are good. I'll have some more reviews coming up soon. Peace.